Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Thursday. I hope it finds you well out there. Why wouldn't it? Gold and silver at new all-time record highs. The government shutdown this weekend, I think, Monday, will tie for the second longest government shutdown in U.S. history. The longest, 35 days during the Barack Obama administration. So we'll see how long it continues. The trade war drums continue to beat. And then this morning we had several Fed governors out talking, two of them in line to replace Jay Powell, screaming for rate cuts. The meeting at the end of this month, October 29th. Fed Governor Marin, remember, he replaced Kugler. He was on TV advocating for a half of a point, while New York Governor Waller, he's saying, hey, I want a quarter of a point. Either way, rate cuts are coming to whether, it's crazy. Right? Stocks are at all-time highs. Gold and silver at all-time highs. You've got inflation, trade. I don't know. Just, this is what happens. It's called when you decide that you don't want to be fiscally responsible as a central bank. This is what happens. I expect higher gold and silver prices throughout the end of the year because I believe that they have enough of the voting members. The rate cut people are lining up. Right now, gold's up 60. Another 60, 42, 70. Silver, 53.75 right now. Just a very quick update. The Royal Mint in England, they're out now. So, it's just a matter of time. Here in the U.S., here's what has happened. If you want a sealed case of Silver Eagles, they only have some 2025s left. And they want like $30,000. So obviously our price is going to be obviously above that. There is no sealed backdate cases. There are some unsealed backdated cases. And right now, they're like, $31,500 for the case. I anticipate, if this continues, which it looks like it's going to, the United States will join the rest of the world in essentially saying, hey, we're out of Silver Eagles. There won't be any to be had. We do still have, and guys, it's every day it's a better and better deal. I still have some rolls of the Canadian dollars, right? They're $600. Well below melt value on those. Think about it. It's 12 ounces of silver. Gosh, silver now $54. It's like $650, almost $650 worth of silver for $600. Yeah, I got those. I still have some $half rolls. They're $3.55 a roll. Like $4 under. It's crazy. I do have you can buy up to a bag. If you buy more than 25 rolls or more, a quarter bag or more, I'll still do them at $3.50 And let me just do some math here. Each roll of those 7.15 ounces, gosh, that's $5 under. 800-951-0592. $20 gold pieces, $43.75. I can't help it. Still, what a great deal. I mean, what is that? I mean, you got gold pretty much $42.75 now, and no let up in sight. We had J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon out, and they're all, listen, they're telling you if you want to listen, right? Jamie Dimon yesterday, hey, gold could easily be 10,000. And again, I think because they already know what the plan is going to be, and I don't know, when we start looking at this, all the silver's gone. China says we don't have any to give. The world, and almost when you think about it, the United States, in London, England, right, we're kind of like the Western, and it seems like we're just kind of isolated, right, because nobody stepped up to help. Europe's not helping us. Asia's not helping us, right? India's not helping us. China's not helping us. I hope everybody's ready. Remember, gold and silver are to protect what you've already earned. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour on this Thursday. A quick look in at the markets. The Dow's up 140, the S&P's up 29, the Nasdaq's up 168. They're very excited about rate cuts. The 10-year note, 404. So just kind of sitting there. It hasn't helped mortgages. We did get some non-government data about mortgage demand. It's just not there. A little bit surprising. I guess, more rate cuts. Maybe they'll get some. Oil's hanging around $58. Gold, as we talked about, $42.71 is the spot price right now, up almost $62. Spot silver, $53.75. Platinum's over $1,700. Palladium's over $1,500. Again, copper. Where's copper? Let's take a look. Copper's over $5. Wow. Why is this happening? Right? And why is it that, historically banks, they're the last ones to tell you that gold and silver are going to do this. Or, Bank of America, silver's going to be $65. Of course, Jason and I, we've been warning you, right? This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. But let's not forget that the United States, I think very smartly, after World War II, kind of set us up to be the world's reserve currency, right? Hey, let's just use dollars. And the world said, okay, we'll do it. And to be honest, it worked fairly well for quite a long time, right? The Bretton Woods agreements, the Basel agreements, right? And then we went off the gold standard in 71. The world got nervous, right? The world got nervous, but we didn't have a lot of debt. And you could take interest rates to 20%. Because things were still cheap, right? A house was $20,000, $25,000. A Corvette was like $3,000, right? Back then, you're lucky to get maybe 3 years on a brand new car. That was the size of the load, right? Now what? You got to have a 7-8 year loan just to have $1,000 payment. But at some point, they just made the decision, screw it. We're just going to keep spending. We're not going to be disciplined. And that kind of didn't sit all that well. And remember, when was the gig really up? When did the curtain, the guy behind the curtain, get exposed? And that was right around the Y2K 9/11, when the world realized, oh, wait, they're not paying off the debt. They're going to do the exact opposite. And they were okay with that by and large. But, some of them are like, okay, I'm going to start buying some gold here. The financial crisis came around, right? It really kind of, okay, this really isn't going to work, right? This really isn't going to work. And they started preparing. But all of a sudden, they started to prepare even more right around COVID, right around COVID. And right around that same time, the war in Ukraine broke out. They saw the United States not only use SWIFT as a weapon on Venezuela, they used SWIFT as a weapon on Iran, they used SWIFT as a weapon on Syria. They actually just confiscated Venezuela's gold that they had sitting in London and New York and just said, now we're keeping it. And that didn't sit very well. See, we had all the cards, and all we had to do was not politicize the reserve currency of the world. The second you politicize it, now you've got a problem because you're forcing the rest of the world to pick a side. And not just pick a side. Well, what if I do something the U.S. doesn't like? Are they going to just kick me out? Are they just going to take my stuff? And then we got Executive Order 14024. What is that? Well, I don't know. What executive order is that? This was in the Biden administration, right? They were going to punish the Russians because we had told the Ukrainians they don't have to honor the peace agreements that we had all agreed to when Russia essentially said, okay, we're going to let all these countries, no longer be part of the Russian Federation. Okay, we'll do it, but there's got to be some rules. And then we said, we don't like those rules. You don't have to do it, right? Well, what did they do? What was that executive order? They told every country in the world, every sovereign fund, every central bank, every trading partner on earth, that your money was only safe until Washington got angry. That's it. Right? They still froze. As a matter of fact, they keep talking about we're going to take the Russian money we seized and give it to Ukraine, right? Well, Jason, I don't know if it's monetary arrogance that led us to do this, but when I start to look at the events, especially in the last several weeks, guys, this is true. This is a literal fiat debasement trade that is going on, and in particular, a fiat debasement trade against the dollar. And we've kind of done it to ourselves.
Yeah, well, we talk about the central bank being put into place back in 1913. It was allowed to happen. And so when you say we did it to ourselves, well, the citizenry allowed these people to make these financial decisions. And what do, Joe? They enrich themselves and all their friends. And you get the big, beautiful bill. And next year it'll be some other big, beautiful bill. And the next year it'll be another big, beautiful bill. And they can call it whatever they want to call it. What was the COVID one? Oh, COVID emergency money.
Yeah, right.
We got to spend.
It's always an emergency.
It's always
an emergency.
Well, it is. I mean, when you're super wealthy, you need to get your check. It's an emergency. And then we end up in a place like this. And gold and silver doesn't do what it's doing unless something is getting ready to happen. Gold and silver is a leading indicator. It's not a lagging indicator. Lagging indicator is all the numbers that Joe gets to read you every day. Joe he has up to the minute lagging numbers. That's what we got, right?
Right. So true, right? Because all the numbers, well, this was last month's number, and this was a number from 6, 8, 12 weeks ago number.
And then they don't even give you the right number, because then they go when nobody's looking. And then they say,
that number's not right. Don't worry about it.
What's the word they use? We have to we have to update those.
Yes, we got to seasonally adjust these numbers.
Seasonally adjust, right? All these great terms for just basically saying we are getting ours and you have to pay for it. And it's happening. I mean, silver going to $60 after blowing past its record high to me is just going to be there. And Joe and I were talking this morning and it's like, well, it should plateau at some point, but we don't know when. And we started talking about Elemental and some of these wholesalers, these refineries, pushing back on what they call alloy silver, your sterling silver, your junk silver, because they have so much to melt down already, but they're loving the 0.999 silver. Well, what that means is they have tons of 0.99 silver, and they don't have the ability to refine it's harder to get the impurities out, because what they're making is these 1,000-ounce deliverable bars. The reason London's such an emergency is somebody wants the physical metal. You know, the whole paper game is not feeling so safe for the paper guys anymore. I love these moments when the physical market pushes that around the paper market. It's such a great time to just be watching it if you're into this stuff. And Joe, they're going to keep spending us into oblivion. We're going to keep having a horrible economy because it's rigged. It's rigged. You're supposed to give 30% of your life over, of your earnings life over to a bunch of people that are going to put it towards the interest on the money that they borrow from a central private bank. That's what it is. Your taxes, you don't earn money in your pocket till about Wednesday, and that money goes, that first Monday and Tuesday money, that all goes to a bunch of bankers. For them, they're not paying the taxes, Joe. They got all their ways around that. They have their trusts and they have their games. They borrow money from here and they borrow money from there, and they don't pay taxes. And it sounds kind of like a Democrat, but the ultra wealthy are ultra wealthy for a reason. They know how to operate, and that's what Joe and I do. We try to get you guys to jump on board on things when we see something good. You know, Joe and I are so good at what we do. I think we're upsetting lots of people because we're so good at it.
Yeah, they don't want us to be right. I get it. I don't want to be right. Listen, I don't want this to be the debasement trade. I don't. That's actually not good for us, for the citizens of this country. But guys, I'm telling you, this is what it is. Yesterday, they're not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Yesterday, they had another problem.
Yep.
They had another problem. And the central bank had to rush in because a bunch of banks flooded the emergency window. Right? Warning! Right? You used to hear that during the financial crisis. Now they try to hide it from you. They don't want you to know it. No, it's just normal now. Normal. There was nothing normal about it. It was banks going to the emergency Fed window because they didn't have the cash on hand to meet obligations. And they didn't have enough liquidity in their assets, right? Because, let's face it, debt's hard to sell. And, of course, they have no margin required. This is another thing. You know what? They've never stopped. None of the banks, they got rid of it during COVID. There is no margin requirement. They're supposed to at least be holding 8 cents of every dollar back, something like that. Then the government said, oh, gosh, we got to buy all this. We'll just take it away for a little while. It's been 5 years. Jamie Dimon was talking about the bankruptcies now in the auto sector and others, and he had a great little phrase the other day. When you see one cockroach, there's a lot more of them. And yesterday, very quietly, there was a bunch of cockroaches running around. Fortunately, they don't want to let you know if your bank was one of those cockroaches. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. I don't know. I haven't seen any news, but the Dow just went negative. I'm not sure if we have another issue with liquidity that would kind of change the markets yesterday. I'll keep my eye out on that. And then right now, man, okay, urgent here. Get the Canadian dollars at 600 and get what's left of the $50. So I'm being kind, because I'm not raising the price. $600 a roll on the Canadian dollars. $3.55 a roll on $50. And if you buy a quarter bag or more, we take it down to $3.50. By the way, that's $4. At $3.55, that's $4 under. If you buy a quarter bag or more, which, by the way, that quarter bag is the equivalent of 25 rolls, in case you didn't know that. And I know some of you are new. But we'll take them down to $350, right? $8,750. That's like $48. Silver's $54. Why am I telling you now there's a little more urgency than there was just 5 minutes ago? I'm going to tell you. TDS, one of Canada's biggest banks, just took a multi-million-dollar loss exiting their silver short positions. And guys, I think get ready. I think this is going to be a big pattern here. They can't take the losses anymore. $53 was a big deal for a lot of these banks that were short. It got obliterated today. Just absolutely obliterated. And now silver, even December silver, which they've tried to hold back, right? That's the New York contract, $53.35. I think you're going to see a slew of banks having to exit their short positions. Jason's been saying this for a while. Don't be surprised. You're going to wake up, and silver's going to be $60 plus here. These are big losses. No offense, but banks can't be losing millions and millions of dollars on positions. And of course, how are they going to make up for it? They're going to do what? They're going to go long to make up for it. So, Jason, the silver markets now, more desperate times here as banks are having to give up on these short positions.
Now all of Jamie Dimon's rhetoric the last year is starting to make a whole lot of sense, because J.P. Morgan's going to hold that gold or that silver position that they've been holding for all these years, and they are going to pummel these guys.
Yeah.
The first, I don't know how many chips have fallen, but that's a chip that you just talked about just now, Joe. And those, I'm wondering how much silver Jamie Dimon bought when he sold all his stock. Think about the timing of when he bought silver. If he did such a thing last year, Joe, just think about it. And his bank is huge in this thing. They've been manipulating silver for how long? Man, are they going to clean house with this thing? And then I'm sure there's others. This is just one example, right, Joe? But it's $60 is the first call I was making, because when you blow through that record high that's been just like sitting there for decades, it's always, no matter what, you're going to get a huge bump. But, Joe, when we talk about the smelters can't take any more because there's so much selling going on, and the price is still going up because somebody upriver needs more and more and more, we might be looking at silver and gold prices continuing to go up all the way to the new year. And if that happens, where's it going to be? We're going to have $5,000 gold this year. That's what it's starting to look like. And it looks like we're having $75 to $100 silver this year. I mean, it's not impossible. It's just when you do it as long as Joe's done it, and as long as I've done it, it's shocking when it actually happens, when you knew at some point it was, right, Joe?
Right. And again, we did know this, right? All of us have been waiting for this. I know a lot of you silver guys. When's silver going to do it? Well, it's doing it.
It's doing it.
It's doing it, right? It's doing it.
By the way, that junk, those half dollars and those Canadian dollars, when Joe and I get back from this thing in Texas on Tuesday, if we have any of this stuff left, we're going right to spot price. Yeah. If we have any of it, it's going right to spot price. We are not. You guys are no more breaks. The premiums are coming up now. Silver Eagles, Joe was telling me this morning, might be completely non-existent by this weekend. And obviously, you don't hear us selling any right now. So, the premiums are back, guys. And now we're going to pile the premiums on top of $53 silver. Do that math, right, Joe?
Well, yeah, you're saying 53. You need to get ready to say 54. Silver's up 93 cents, 53.90, right?
Right there. Holy cow.
Yeah, well, TD just broke this news about having to exit, and is there more exiting behind it? Guys, listen. This truly is a debasement. The whole world knows, okay, and it doesn't matter. We're not what do they always, it's the cleanest shirt and then a dirty laundry. Okay. Well, just imagine now, right? All this laundry's, it's all dirty, and it's been sitting there, right? And the AC's broken, and that thing's starting to really smell. There's no clean shirt left. It all stinks. And everybody knows it. And one of the ways that, hey, stock's at an all-time high, so you don't really notice. Right? They don't want you to notice. Don't pay attention to what's really. Don't worry about the banks going to the emergency lending window. Don't worry about that. No, it's fine. Yeah. And we're going to end quantitative tightening. We're going to cut rates some more. And you see it. Look at what the Chinese, India, and Brazil, Russia, look at what they're doing. We're inflicting the most amount of pain we know how to inflict, and it doesn't matter. They're like, this is why we're doing it. The more you turn the screw, the faster we're going to get out.
I was watching Peter Schiff the other day. We had the economic crises. That was the late 1990s into the dot-com bubble. He's like, look, if you look at gold and silver, since we've had economic crisis after economic crisis, gold and silver is well above the stock market. And if gold and silver is holding inflation, then that means your stock market at record highs is underperformed, below inflation. You're losing money. It's actually depressed. A record high stock market is not performing, Joe.
800-951-0592. $20 gold pieces, $43.75. Gold's $42.75. Probably, I don't know, 43 something tomorrow, right? And so on and so forth. Silver right at $54 here now. Can't have a better deal. The Canadian dollars at 600, and then the half dollars pre-1960 for half dollar rolls. 1 through 24, $3.55. You get a quarter bag or more at $3.50. At 800-951-0592. Very quickly, I will be out of the office after the show tomorrow. Jason will be leaving right after he's done with his Fake News Friday show. We will be closed Monday. The radio station will be running repeats. We'll run repeats. The Patriot, the office will be closed Monday. Will reopen on Tuesday. And as Jason said, this is it. No more deals.
It's it.
Order bags are.
We're repricing silver and probably gold next weweek. We're the return of above spot pricing is going to be happening. And Joe,
I just got a text. Looks like the half dollars are gone.
Just like that.
So the girl.
Somebody listened. Somebody was listening. Congratulations. I mean, how much do we have? We had like a couple of half bags or something left, didn't we?
Yeah. What a great.
People are figuring it out. I guess it just took. We had to blast past $50 for people to figure it out. I would say, Joe, that at best next week, if we have any junk to sell, it's going to be at spot at best.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, rolls of half dollars are over $400.
That's where we're headed. There's no way to get around it anymore.
$400, and over like $410, something like that. Heck, rolls of dimes are over $200.
It's $4 a dime.
$4 a dime, on our way to $5 a dime.
Yep. And Joe and I will be talking on Tuesday, and it's going to be a little bit of a strange market. Usually we're really low on silver bars, but I have a feeling that anything .999 silver, which is rounds and bars, instead of being the lower, a lower dollar item, is probably going to have to be above spot. Junk silver will probably be at spot. And if we get any silver eagles, watch out, $5, $6, $7 over spot.
I'll just say this right now. We do have some rolls of half dollars at $3.55, so jump on those. Obviously, the Canadian dollars at 600, at 800-951-0592. You guys have until tomorrow for TEXIT. I am scrambling to try to work with some other rangers and people involved in TEXIT. But we're losing the ability for peer payments. Everything's got to be done crypto-wise, which I only have so much, right? So Coinbase only allows me to do so much a day. That's well above what we're doing. If you're going to be upgraded, if you're going to add people, do it and do it today. Get it done with. I'm going to say this. We're going to be at over 40,000 miners when Jason and I get back. We over 40,000. At 50,000, right, the double hash goes away. I had a big conversation yesterday because people are like, "Oh no, we're going to be, we'll make it to the mine won't be done till January." I have a very bad feeling that the mine is going to be sold out possibly sooner than I expected, which is the end of the year. I was thinking 200,000 miners was going to be full. That would be the equivalent of 200,000 people have the equivalent of 500 hash. Okay. That's what that means. I I was told yesterday that it's probably going to be closer to 150,000.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. There's a lot of for people that are getting signups and things done. At the end of the week, Saturdays when commissions are tabulated, and the closer we get to the 50,000 miners, the more everyone. There's guys that do the cash, the TXC or the USDC bonuses each week. They're all going to be switching over to hash.
Well, they've been taking hash is pretty much the majority of the commissions now.
The ones that are doing cash may switch over, Joe. It'll accelerate, is what I'm trying to get to.
It's. I'm going to say this, guys. It's coming. Get in. Get in. You know what? You still don't believe me. You still don't believe Jason. You still don't believe Mike. Throw $995 at it today and see what happens. I'm going to say this. For those of you on the exchange, we had a big meeting yesterday. You guys should be on DexTrade or Bicotomy's the easiest. Get on there. Get your buy orders in. Put your sell orders in. Put a sell order in at 525. Guess what? It's going to fill. It's going to fill before the end of the month.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. You want to make some money? There you go.
By design. It's by design. It's the way it was
developed. Why? Because we're going to have $10 million of liquidity. We've got $5 million right now. We're, a little over, less than $2 million away from $100 million. Guess what that means? 10% of that's going to be our new liquidity level. Yeah. I wonder what Bobby's going to buy. He hasn't shared what it is. But you know what? Every time this happens, we have yet to touch that liquidity coin. And I don't know about that mining hash power. Get ready. Big jumps. We more than doubled it, but we're getting ready to really hit it up. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. I got a couple of rolls of $50 at $3.55. Got some rolls of Canadian dollars pre-67. And these are sharp, nice-looking coins at $600. That is all that remains.
If we have any of these next week, there'll be $650 or more a roll, depending on what silver does. We're going to go right to spot. We're below spot on these. Next week, there's no reason for us to sell any silver below spot. I just don't want to do it anymore. We're done doing it. We've been begging you guys to buy silver the last 6 months to a year, and having these below spot deals. It's over. As far as I can see, Joe, it looks like it's over for at least the rest of this year.
Yeah, the premiums are coming back, and just is what it's going to be. Having said that, guys, got some 20s, 43.75. Gold's now 42.80. I won't be surprised to see 4,300 today. Get it while you can. Back to TEXIT really fast. What's going to happen when Jason and I are back on Tuesday? I only have X amount of crypto that I can use. And it's roughly $100,000. It's a lot, right? And it's funny, I had a couple of guys call me, Rangers call me, Joe, I want to help you out. What are we talking about? And then I tell them, I'm like, well, 2 weeks ago I did $500,000. This week I did $475,000. And they're like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, I had an extra 30,000, 40,000. Yeah, well, it's great. Guys, the mine's going to be full. We're less than 50, probably 50 days, if that.
Christmas. We'll probably be done.
Yeah, and all I can do is what I can do, right? I'm trying desperately to figure it out so I can help everybody. We knew this was coming. I've been warning about it coming.
I went through it a couple of months ago. It happened to me.
It's and it's not me. It didn't happen to me.
Right.
It happened to TEXIT. Right. So
we all have to do this together, and what happens to TEXIT happens to Joe. What happens to Jason happens to Joe. So we're all working. It's that we're doing the best we can. If the banks were playing fair, then and letting us use our money the way we want,
right?
We'd be
because
doing
it's
better.
not our money, and the banks are letting us know it's not our money.
Yes.
But I'll just say this: you go on a list, guys. At that point, if you want to pay for somebody and use TEXIT coin to do it, great. That we can do that. How can you help? You can pay somebody if you want to sponsor somebody. Pay with TEXIT coin. Pay with USDC. Everybody should have their butts out on the exchange right now and having buy orders all day long. $4, $4.10, $4.15, $4.25, $4.50, $4.70. Listen, tell me where the price is going to be. I hope you're smart enough to do it and wait till they see the mega mines come on in November. Wait till you see what happens. This thing is going through the roof.
There's another way to do it as well. If you're not secure about doing the signups yourself, but you have your Coinbase open and you can load it with USDC, you can send the USDC to Joe, and Joe will get your sign. Then you get to be at the front of the line because you're using your money directly to Joe. So get your Coinbase loaded up.
800-951-0592. You got till Friday to do it the old way.
All of your